Okay, fellas, let's talk about some run defense for NCAA 14. In this video, I'm going to go over some plays that work good for run defense, but most importantly, I'm going to go over things you need to do to help improve your run defense. And last but not least, I will show you the best thing I can offer you to help you shut down run plays. Now, I want you guys to take note that this is to stop run plays, not to stop the option. I'll go over defending option in my other videos later on in the ebook. So right now I'm in the 3-3-5 against Virginia Tech's playbook, and we're going to go ahead and show you guys some popular runs and also what I like to do to defend. Now, it just so happens that my favorite base play and audible from this playbook is actually a genuinely decent run play. Is it an absolute shutdown run play? I don't know if there is one. There's probably some plays that are good shutdown run defense, but are awful on the passing end. So Storm Red from the 3-3-5 stack is about as close as I can get to a good run defense and decent pass defense. Now, it just so happens that I love to run Storm Red early on in the game until I see that my opponent can beat it. So anytime that they think about running the ball, it actually ends up being a good thing. So just for an example, let's look at this lead draw here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to audible out real quick to man coverage, and this is the lead draw from Twins out of Virginia Tech playbook, and basically draws are still a very nice way to beat a lot of coverages, especially the lead draw, because the blocking on the leads draw is so great. As you see right here, let's look at the blocking angles. The tight end goes upfield to block somebody, and then most importantly, the fullback is going to head upfield as well to block linebackers up. So it gives the defense the illusion that it's a pass play. Everybody's playing pass that should be playing pass, and the tight end gets upfield, and he actually ends up blocking the guy that was on him. The fullback ends up getting a linebacker, and one of my linemen leaks second level to the linebackers, and I may have had a chance to get 10 yards there. So let's look at some draw plays versus the Storm 2 Red. So I'm going to go ahead and run the draw. I don't have two hands to come in control the players, but ideally what you're going to want to do is control the safety here, and you're going to want to come and down and help your teammates out in the run. So as we go here and we're going to run the draw, you're going to see that there's like a lot of awesome penetration here by the defense. A thing that's popular with people who run the draw is to kick it back outside. So as you see here, right off the bat, our two edge rushers kick right in. So there's only one place for them to go, and that's forward. But that's good because we want them to run into our linebacker and run into us coming down to help. So I'm just going to put the safety in a spy to emulate me coming down to stop the run here. So you see right here, it causes just a lot of mess up front. Let's go ahead and run it again. And that's what we want right there, just to get a surge upfield. So let's go ahead and look at that. So as we run the play here, first of all, the left guard has to go out and help somewhere else because he sees that there's some pressure coming. Our guy on the left here gets picked up by the wide receiver, but we still get pressure in the backfield from the other guy. So if they try to linger around and bounce it outside, they're going to get hit pretty hard by other people. So if you would have went left, this linebacker would have been waiting, and if you went right, this guy is right there to grab him. Thanks to our middle linebacker help clogging up the middle, it just makes it messy and makes it easier for our star defensive tackle on Florida State to get upfield and really help stop this run. Last but not least, you want to come down with your safety into the box and to stop the run. Let's look at this play versus a couple of other things here. So let's go ahead and run. Oops, I need to change my own play. Let's go ahead and run Power O here. As you see right here, it's just a very frustrating run defense right there. It's not superb. But what it does do is cause a lot of disruption. So you see right here, the middle linebacker comes into the gap, and the double team right here has to get to the linebacker to disrupt him because he's going to come in and get the running back. We also have the outside run contain. Look at these guys come and force it back inside. So these guys contain it and force it back inside to the linebacker here. And let's see what he does. He comes down, he gets blocked, and that leaves, last but not least, the safety. Now, mind you, I'm not using the safety. My user was on the defensive tackle. Since I don't have two hands, since I don't have four hands really, I can't control the other guy. So the safety recognizes its run and comes down. But there's a reason to that. The second reason why I love Storm Red is because the safety's in the yellow zone, and when the safety's in the yellow zone, he will come down naturally first. When the safety is in the deep blue, he will go back first. So if you don't believe me, let's check it out. So you see right here, it's a perfect example of what I just told you. The safety, instead of coming down like he did in the yellow zone, steps back. After that, we break up field because originally he would have been about right at this place to help stop the run where the running back is currently right here. Instead, he's all the way up there, and I get a chance to cut up field and maybe make a miss. So just the natural design of the Storm 2 Red is a good run defense. See, the middle linebacker is also key because he's disrupting it right away. Another thing I want you guys to take note of for this run defense is that there are 8 people in the box. So what I mean by in the box, there are 8 people around the offensive line. So that is considered the box. So we want to, let's go into instant replay so I can do a little quick drawing of the box for you. So from basically from this left tackle to this tight end up to the field, there are 8 people here. So we have the 3 down linemen, the 3 linebackers, and then the 2 safeties outside. And I want to put the cornerback. He's a little too far outside, but he can help if the run does bust outside. On top of being 8 in the box, we also have the free safety coming down again, remember, to help stop the run. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers against 8 people, and technically 9 coming down to help stop the run. So how I like to use this play is if early on in the game I love to run Storm 2 Red. So basically what I do is I will actually literally sit back and watch and see if you can beat Storm Red. And because I'm not really using anybody, the free safety will act on his own if you do run the ball, and he will come down for run support. As you see right here, he comes down and stops it for about 2 or 3 yard gain. So it's just all around great concept because we have 8 in the box and the safeties in the yellow zone to come down. I have a couple other similar plays that are like that. There are a few like that in this playbook, like the Spy 2 invert. Let's check that out real quick. So again, we have 8 in the box, and again, your safety's in the yellow zone. So let's see if we can't run the ball on it. No, it's pretty tough. Again, it's the same basic concept, and that's why I love the 3-3-5, because you're not going to really find that in the 4-3 playbook. You'll have to look other places for run defense. So the middle linebacker isn't as disruptive, so we got a clean break, but the safety still comes down, and by the time the safety is containing it, the other guys break free. So it looks like maybe I could have had space outside. So let's see if we can't break it outside. Right here. So I do get some yards outside, but again, the safety is there to stop it. So that would also be your responsibility. If you know they're going to run the ball, you might want to cheat down a little bit. But again, you don't have to. Let's see how this looks versus the draw. Again, it's pretty good run defense just because there's 8 in the box, and that the safety and the middle linebacker Spy here do a great job of helping out. Let's check that on replay for you guys. So right here we're running that cover 2 play from the playbook. So the real keys here are the middle linebacker and the safety. So remember, we have 8 in the box, so that's more players to block than these guys can handle. But we are running the draw, so they're going to get fooled and drop back. For example, this linebacker right here takes some stuff out of the play. What happens next is the linebacker chills down deep, so you have to block the linebacker. So the next guy comes up and he gets the linebacker because he's staying in the box. And then for some reason this guy just totally blows his blocking assignment and blocks nobody and goes for the cornerback. Why? I don't know. Call up EA Sports. Let's run it again because the first 2 times we had really nice breaks. And again, it's just 8 in the box, so it's really hard to move on. Let's check this concept out versus a couple of other runs. Let's go against the counter. Real quick before I get into a play, let's look at see how many more. So in the 3-3-5 stack, how many plays are unique like that that they help stop the run? So we have Storm 2 Red because we have 8 in the box, and it's a very hectic defense with all the blitzers. It has good outside contain, and the safety's in the yellow zone, so he comes down to defend the run. Let's see, another play here is Spy 2 invert. Again, there's 8 in the box. The middle linebacker causes havoc by sitting in the middle, forcing linemen to block him right away, and the safety comes down again. And that's looking about, looks like it's about it for that 3-3-5 stack. 3-3-5 across, you might have some stuff in there. This cover 2, again, same thing, the safety's in the yellow, so he can help come down. So we'd have the 3 linebackers and the 3 linemen and the safety. The only thing is that those 2 guys in the deep yellow blues would not be able to come down and help right away. A better defense for this might be Crash 2. So again, let's crash 2 here. Again, so what do we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And this guy's out of the box. We can either manually bring him down. I don't know if base align will bring him down. But we can bring him down to the box. But then again, he is in a flat zone, so let's see how it plays out. Let's just go back to the original play, and let's see how it runs. So we click off of everybody. Let's run the counter. So you see right here, it actually ends up being pretty decent. Let's check out how my defense was reacting without me controlling them. Alright, so this safety doesn't get blocked, which is key, because he's trying to come inside and block somebody else. So on top of that, this cornerback gets free, so he ends up making the tackle. Look, so he ends up stopping the big run because our safety's in the yellow zone. Check it out. So remember, our safety's in the yellow zone, so he's playing the run. He's going to come down. The linebacker stops him, but that doesn't stop this cornerback. So we have good coverage, and he ends up only getting about 2 yards because the cornerback makes a good play. Just by the nature of the play, it helps stop the run. Again, this safety over here comes and flows over the top. He also would have been there to help out. Let's try. You have power O in here? No. Let's just flip the counter here. So what we did there was actually I flipped the counter to run to the tight end side, so we technically had an extra blocker, but it didn't seem to matter. So it starts off normal, and what happens is the safety comes down along with this other safety to help stop the run. So just the design of the play. The key to the play is the safeties. They're all in zones. If these guys were all in deep zones, check this out, they wouldn't be making the same plays. So we'll see right here, the safety's back up, but still just the nature of the defense, it being so in your face, the 3-3-5 is actually excellent run D. So I ended up running it. I probably should have cut it back inside. Guys are going to want to cut that counter outside, and for the sake of argument, let's just drop these guys back deep again, and I'll try and cut that counter inside. See right there. Now let me try and cut it back inside again. So let's go to the replay before I do that. So I set all my guys to deep blue, and look, they take themselves out of the play. They start backing up, and now they realize it's running. It's way too late, and they're not in position to make a tackle. So again, I'll try cut that inside, and I got murdered by the safety. Again, the safety is the key here. Let's check out. He's coming down. It looks like the fullback's going to get him. But check this out. This safety, since he's playing down, since he's down in deep blue, and he's going to be affected because, look, he's coming over to help out. So the fullback ends up blocking him, and the safety ends up clocking the running back. On top of that, we also had the other safety coming in for run support. So it's a very annoying defense just by the design of where these guys are. Some other plays that might pique your interest. Let's take a look at the Oki. Does the Oki have anything like that? It's not looking good. No. So really you're going to want to stick with the stack. The across was actually really nice, and the bear also has this. The bear has Storm 2 Red. Again, it's the same idea. So you can use that for run defense out of there as well. Same concept. So let's talk about playing run defense now without having to call a blitz or anything fancy. And I want you guys to try this out for yourselves in practice mode too. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to call, I want to call just a generic cover 3. And the reason why I'm going to call a cover 3, not like these are very unique plays. See, there's not even a generic cover 3 in here. So let's go to Oki. And let's call, I guess we can call that cover 3. I'm looking for like a flat zone. Doesn't matter though, I guess. So let's call this cover 3 from the 3-3-5 Oki. And let's call a tight power O. So again, guys, now remember I told you the safety was the key here, but this safety is in a deep blue. But let's check out the rest of our defense. So we got our 3 down linemen, our 3 linebackers in the box, and we have our 2 outside 3-3-5 safeties in the box. So we still have 8 in the box. So naturally it should work versus the run, but let's test it out here. So you see right here, it ended up actually being kind of successful. Let's try and run it the other way. See if we can't get some yards. So there we go. We finally get some yards. We found a weakness in the defense, and I almost get a touchdown. So let's just say we can run a cover 3 run defense, and I'll show you how. Because maybe they are beating our Storm 2 red somehow. Maybe they're just calling it a good run play that's not stopping it. Or maybe they're passing on it. So now you have to play cover 3, because cover 3 is actually a pretty decent pass defense this year. You can make some adjustments to stop your opponent's passing. But now you have become a little bit more vulnerable to the pass, because our free safety number 31 is no longer in the yellow. Remember, he was coming down and helping on all those other plays, Storm 2 red and the cover 2 from the other stuff. So I'm going to show you guys a quick trick you can use to play better defense from the cover 3. And this is a little bit more for the advanced users. Guys who are new to the game may have a hard time following this, but what we're going to do is take our free safety here and we're going to put him in a yellow zone. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because this is where you're going to have to cover the deep blue. So originally this free safety is going to drop back on his own, but we're going to put him in a yellow because we want to come down into the box, or we want to come up from a top and attack late. So what we want to do is when the ball is hiked, when you play this type of defense, you want to help attack to the ball. Now there's a couple things you want to remember here, and something I did that was bad. One thing you want to remember is to be patient and look out for the pass first. Make sure it's not play action. Look for maybe like a tight end trying to run downfield. This way right here, he blocks right away, so we know. You want to make sure that nobody's going downfield for routes. After that, you want to come down to the play, but you don't want to over pursue. See here, I shouldn't have went in like that when running this cover 3 run defense. What I should have did was went over the top and helped contain, so we would have ran back into the linebackers. So hopefully I can show you guys what I mean here. Right here, I see that it's a run, and you see that's exactly what we wanted to happen. So check out what the computer did to me there. Remember before where I over pursued and he just took off and got some yards. Now check this out. I came down, I stayed over the top, and the running back ended up cutting back. Check this out. He gets the ball, he's going, and he ends up cutting back because he sees that I'm going to be able to tackle him. Now, because he can't go through any of these gaps over here where the blockers came, because our defensive line and linebackers locked that up. And then I'm coming over the top to contain, so now he cuts back. So now if I had done an even better job, I could have came down, and when he cut back, I could have went back the other way to help out. Luckily, I had some guys shed some tackles the other way and make some great backside run defense. So I'm going to try it one more time to see if I can't discipline myself to cut back. You see right there, I cut back and I ended up making the saving tackle. So now it's not as great run defense, but now if they do run the ball and they're passing the ball on you as well, you can also play a little bit of a better pass defense and not have to worry. So that's just going to be the give and take of the game, guys. Like I said in the introduction video, you got to be patient. You're not going to stop everything for a loss. Just because I'm sharing this knowledge with you doesn't make it you instantly better. You have to go out, practice it, and remember it. Now remember before, the one shiny thing is that I almost busted a touchdown before, but now I stayed back and ended up making the saving tackle. So if I had missed, other guys would have probably came down and got him. So let's check this out versus a good example I had was that counter run. I love the way this worked versus the counter. So I'm going to come down here and run the cover 3, and I'm just going to run the counter and see if I can't get some yards here. Now I ended up getting block shed and stopped pretty good, but again, you want to get your safety involved, come over the top. Now if you don't like put him in the yellow, maybe you like to bounce off if it is a pass. For example, if I hike the ball, see it's a pass, I can click off and he can take off and try to recover. You can leave him in the deep blue. It's just at the snap of the ball, he may take a step back, which may not help. So let's snap the ball here, and I'm going to come and contain over the top. That was my bad. I was trying to control 2 controllers at once. So let's take a look at that in the replay. So you see right here the importance of the 3-3-5. Check it out, guys. On both sides of the ball, both of these guys are in great spots to contain, which is great. So now you know you have help on the edge there. So he sets the edge. All I had to do was make the tackle. Let's try it again. Sets the edge. See, now I'm forcing it to bounce back inside. And that's what you want, because you don't want anybody breaking it on you deep outside. Because he would have had, look at this, if he would have kept going outside, if I would have let him, he would have had possibly a touchdown, whereas he cuts back inside into the mess of the defense. So it is possible to play good run defense from here. I don't advise running in. See how I missed. You want to find the right medium. You want to be able to chill back and attack in and play good contain run defense from the cover 3. You see right there, that's a perfect example of what you want to do versus that run. So you see you're down, I came down here, I didn't attack right away because there's a lot of blockers. But the key here is going to be this linebacker. Check him out. So instead of the center right there, if you can see his number 62, instead of blocking the middle linebacker, he comes to block me because me and the little middle linebacker are both a threat. This leaves the linebacker open. Had he blocked the linebacker, that would have been on me to probably make the tackle. And let's just flip it the other way. Again, you force him to cut back into the teeth of the defense, and he doesn't score a touchdown, doesn't get a big break. So you can definitely control where your opponent goes. Now, for example, if the computer's a lot smarter runner than a lot of people give it credit for. You cut it back and got a lot of yards. So people want to break this outside, they're going to run into a lot of defenses. So let me run it now. I'm going to put the safety in the yellow because I can't control him, and I'm just going to try and run it on the outside. So you see right there, boom. Perfect example. Check it out. I try to force it, and the safety comes down and ends up helping out and finishing off the run play. Let's try a dive. Now the dives are actually really hard to stop. I actually have some pretty good defense for that coming up in a few minutes. Comes down. I ended up getting a couple yards there. So let's take a look at some other concepts real quick as we progress in the ebook. And I want to talk more about shutting down the run when you need to shut it down. Whether it be goal line, 4th and short, they come out in a run, you need to stop it. And the only defense that I can find, and I've been using this since early Madden 13 is when I found this concept to help stop the run here. It's a great concept. I love it. And it works. So I'm going to go ahead and call this HB Dive. And the run defense I want you guys to run here is the bear cover 2 zone. Now I know it doesn't make sense. I'm going to move the ball closer to the goal line to simulate stopping the run here. Let's move to the 3. Now listen guys, before I go into setting this up, I want you guys to know that if your opponent is committed to running the ball, they're probably going to get yards on you. What you want to do is hold them to good yards and show them that you can play good run defense. This isn't 100% foolproof, but it's as close as you're going to get to playing absolute lockdown run defense when you need it the most. Now, again, this year, running backs are so dominant. They break tackles, especially Oregon's running back. He breaks a ton of tackles, even though he's a light guy. And on top of that, he's very elusive, and EA Sports is big on the cuts this year. So let's go into the setups here. So for you to run this, the first thing you're going to want to do is press coverage. How you do that is press triangle, and you press down on the left analog stick. This will bring this safety back down into the box. That's not enough though. The next adjustments we're going to have to make are putting this safety in the yellow zone and putting this safety in the yellow zone. Now for the sake of pass defense, you can probably do something like this. So you have 2 purple zones on each side. It doesn't matter, yellow, purple, you just don't want them in the deep blue. And ideally, you probably don't want them to blitz either. Just have them be there. So this will be our lockdown run defense, and I'll show you how I run it. The reason why, again, I do these purples is because if somebody goes to the flat or corner, hopefully those guys will cover a pass if I'm wrong. So what we're going to do when we hike the ball, and again, I know where the play is going, which makes it worse, but you're going to have to learn how to react fast to what your opponent is doing. It's not too hard once you get used to it. Just keep playing games, keep practicing to recognize where that run is going. And you're going to want to attack the point of run. Now remember, I told you earlier, you don't want to just run in guns blazing with those defense. But with this defense, you want to run in guns blazing because you're going to force them. You're going to leave linebackers open, and those safe cornerbacks on the outside are going to contain. And by you running into the point of attack of the run, that means where the run is supposed to go, you will force the running back to either cut in back to the middle linebacker and shedding linemen, or out to the cornerbacks who are containing. So I'm going to hike the ball, and I'm going to attack the dive. And you see I actually ended up getting in the backfield. Again, I know that it's a dive. I know that, guys. You won't know what it is until the ball is snapped, but it is possible to attack like this. So you see right here, I actually ended up getting in. What should have happened is the fullback probably should have blocked me. But the reason this run defense works is because of all the people in the box. Again, we actually ended up putting, I'm not going to count the cornerbacks here. So 11 minus 2 is 9 in the box. We're playing 9 in the box, super aggressive run defense. And basically the concept is we're going to run into the point of attack to where the ball is going, and we're going to hope that we can disrupt it and get somebody else free. Let's run it again. So that was more like it. So that was a perfect example of what we want to happen on 4th and short. Let's check it out. So I come in guns blazing. I come in the A gap because it's a dive. That's where the run is supposed to come. So now the running back has choices. He can either cut it back to the left. You see that gap right there? He can cut it to the right outside, or he can try to push up the middle, which is probably what you really should do right there. So what happens is my defensive tackles make a wall and end up making it not possible to go that way. So now his only option is to cut where he's going, and that ends up pushing it right into players, and they help stop the run before he gets in the goal line. Had he had cut back, if I can get my thing right, this linebacker right here would have been waiting for him. Check that out. So had he cut back, oh, actually that's a safety, he would have been waiting for him that hole. Had he bounced it outside, this cornerback would have been waiting for him. And we're going to hope our middle linebacker is smart enough. Actually, middle linebacker got caught up in physics in the lineman. Check that out. So he probably would have made this tackle. So let's run it again. You see right there, we just stopped the run. Again, we get blocked by it, and that's a perfect example of what we want to happen right there. So this time again, I attack inside, and we have our middle linebacker, our safety on the outside, and 2 cornerbacks free. We have 4 people free on goal line run, on a goal line run. So now our defensive end ends up making a huge play and saves the day, because our linebacker looks like he might not have made it. But again, our safety was flowing to the run. He was doing a good job. So maybe he would have met him at the hole had the defensive tackle not had shed. Again, guys, another thing you can do to help out if you know it may be a QB sneak or HB dive is you can run commit middle, and you can actually press L2 to bring up the defensive key menu and press the right analog stick down for run mid. So when the ball is snapped, everybody will flood inside. You see right there, and end up stopping it. That's more for like a QB sneak in my opinion. This should be good enough to stop all the runs. So again, let's run the power O now. And again, I want to stress to you guys, this is balls to the walls, excuse my language, run defense. This is, I really need to stop you. And I know you're going to run the ball. So if you know your opponent likes to run the ball in a certain situation, you can call this and stop them. You know, there's a lot of people out there who do still run the ball and who will try to force it down your throat because they feel like you can't stop them. So now the power O point of attack will be more over here somewhere. So when the ball is snapped, we're going to want to make it over there. And damn, the guy scored. There's not much we can do about that. Let's check it out. Let's see what happened here. We came down and flowed to the point of attack. Our middle linebacker just didn't seal the deal in time. He didn't make it to him in time. So that's going to be how it is, guys. So just be prepared for that. So again here, something else we can also do is base align. So this will kick our cornerbacks out because he ended up getting blocked over here. So let's see if we can't help him now because we base align. So our cornerbacks will be less acceptable to get blocked. So again, I know where the run is going. Boom, perfect. Check this out. So at the snap of the ball, once it's all said and done, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people free. You can check out how the blocks break down. I disrupt one of the pulling linemen. The safety disrupts another, the fullback lead block. And the cornerback and middle linebacker have a party with the running back and meet him where they need to meet him. Set it up again. I don't know why they switch places. It's a power run. We try to meet him there, and boom, our linebacker gets muscled into the end zone. Oh, the running back stuff this year is deadly. So it's going to be even better to run the ball on the goal line this year. Because look at this. They're fighting. They're fighting. How do I zoom in? Oh, square. Let's see if he got across. They're fighting. They're fighting. It didn't get across. It didn't get across. Look at that. No, no. He should have been stopped right where for no gain or maybe just 1 yard. But he almost got across. Very dramatic. Guys, this is my absolute lockdown run defense. This doesn't make sense to run it down here. The absolute run defense is for 4th and short run formations and goal line situations only. You are running this at your own risk if you are running this on 1st and 10. And I'll show you why. So let's call like slot inside zone. Let's set up the defense I showed you guys. Baseline, press. This guy comes down and we get real aggressive in the box. First of all, we now have 9 people in the box. So that means, and there are only 2 people outside to help defend. So there's 3 people that are possibly going to get free downfield. 2, nobody's deep. So this doesn't make sense to call this on 1st down. This doesn't make sense to call this versus a 3 wide receiver set. You want to call this versus goal line, heavy sets, 1 wide receiver, 2 wide receiver sets, 4th and short. You think they're going to run it because they've been running the ball pretty successfully. And that's when you want to run it. So you see I actually ended up sneaking in. So it's a good defense because we have 9 in the box versus, what, 6 blockers? Yeah, I'm going to get free. But it's not necessary to run it here. You only want to run this absolute run defense, 4th and short, goal line situations, or you absolutely 100% are sure a run is coming. Don't want you crying to me when you run this on 1st and short and they bomb over your head for a touchdown. Let's take a look at some stuff you would run this against. You can run this against the twin tight end, the twin tight end flex. You wouldn't run it against any of this other stuff unless you were on the goal line. I form, perfectly normal to run it against I form. Strong I, not the pistol. Basically anything with 3 wide receivers you don't want to run this against. You want to be wary in the shotgun as well. You want to try and not have to stop this. Use that to stop the run. You want to focus more. So let's say if they're running the counter from the 3 wide receiver set, then it's okay. Call the storm 2 red and get your guys in the box. See here I'm base aligning, getting guys in the box, 8 in the box. So now when they run it, we are successful to stop it. So there's different situations for different things, guys. Right here we run it, and our safety would have made the play had the defensive end not bullied his way into the backfield. Or even this guy may have caught him. Check this out. You think he would have caught him? Yeah, he would have had a chance to catch him. Let's try just the run audible down. Again, I'm only base aligning because this guy is out of the box. You can bring him down if you want. I'd rather, if I'm suspecting run, I'd rather base align. If it was pass, I might have left it the way it was. Let's try and run it. Boom, and it's awesome. It's awesome run defense versus other stuff. There's different situations for everything. So guys, again, for a quick breakdown, plays that you would like to run for run defense: storm 2 red, cover 2 from the 3-3-5 bear, a cover 3, cover the crash 2, spy 2 spy invert. Basically, also any cover 3 is fine. That's what you want to run for run defense in here. Again, you run the storm 2 red as your base play because it's just a good play to stop run as we went over there. It's also a decent pass coverage play. I'll break it down more in the playbook as we go along. Cover 2 from the bear is your absolute shutdown run defense. You only run that for certain situations. Again, I showed you guys how to play better run defense from cover 3s. You can also use crash 2 to play run defense. You can play some base defense out of this. The 2 spy invert isn't too bad as well. Again, the keys again are the safeties in the zone. Again, the safeties in the zone and getting 8 in the box is all it takes to stop the run and play better run defense. You have 8 in the box and you play good flow coverage to the ball. You can stop the run and hold it so they don't break big, and that's what you want to do. Guys, you're not looking to hold your opponent to 0 rushing yards. You're looking to stop the big play because if they run the ball for 99 yards for a touchdown, then you don't know anything about their offense and how to stop them. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tips, and I will see you in the other videos for pass defense and